Okay, I see that we have another character that just arrived at Comic-Con, and we just want to ask you what your character name is and how often you've been coming to this comic book convention here.
I'm a stormtrooper from the Star Wars series, and it's my first show dressed up, but I've been coming to the Comic-Cons for about 3 or 4 years.
Now, are you a big fan then of the Star Wars TV series exclusively? Is that what you grew up your whole life watching?
Generally, I do watch Star Wars, but I do like watching all the other sci-fi shows.
And this outfit did you have to purchase it, or was it custom made for you?
It was custom made.
It looks very expensive too. It looks very authentic from the TV series.
Yeah, it's generally you spend about $800 to $1,500 on making a costume like this.
And are you hoping to meet any celebrities from the Star Wars or Star Trek TV series here at all?
No, I'm just here making people happy, watching the kids look at the costume, because it seems like the kids like the Star Wars series.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us. Enjoy the rest of the day for the show.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Okay, I'm here with another guest here that's at Comic-Con. Your name is Sam, and we just want to get an idea about your outfit and what you represent and how often you've been coming to Comic-Con.
This is my second year coming to Comic-Con, dressing up each and every day. This is Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I made it myself. I pattern drafted the tail, the fin, and these are real shells that I covered in fabric. And yeah, I know a lot of friends here. I've made many friends at Comic-Con, and it's just a wonderful place to hang out and meet awesome guests and stuff.
Now, have you been to any other comic book conventions across Canada? Because I understand this is the second largest one, next to Toronto.
I haven't been to any comic conventions. I've been to Anime North in Toronto, which is an anime convention, which is kind of the same thing. But I'm hoping to next year go to Dragon Con in the United States, in Atlanta, which is a huge comic convention.
And will that be sci-fi or just anime only?
It is both, actually. It is both sci-fi and anime. It takes up 5 hotels. It's huge.
And do you have any special attraction that you come to see here today? Do you hope to meet any celebrities or any special people?
I like to meet all the guests. They're always really awesome people, but I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a Trekkie, so I was very excited to get to meet Garrett Wang, who was in Voyager, and I got to talk to him and hang out with him every day, so it was a really rewarding experience to meet him.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you. No problem at all.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm at one of the booths here. I believe this is Artist Alley, and we're talking with Carla Germain, the Development Director at Max the Mutt Animation School. We just want to find a bit about your booth, and if you're first time to Comic-Con here in Winnipeg, and tell us all about what this school's all about.
Excellent. My name is Carla Germain. I'm the Development Director for Max the Mutt Animation School. We are a registered career college with approved ministry programs downtown Toronto, Ontario. We have 3-year diploma programs in classical and computer animation with a possible 4th-year Maya film production, 3 years in illustration for sequential arts, graphic novels, and comic books, and a 4-year concept art for video games and animation. This is our first year here at Central Comic-Con, and we are really excited to be here because it's a fabulous show.
And do you have a lot of connections then with the animation studios in Hollywood that some of your graduates get jobs at after?
I wouldn't say we have a lot of connections with the animation studios in Hollywood, but we certainly do have them throughout Canada. We find a lot of our students are more eager to stay around, and it's not necessarily Hollywood. We enjoy our level of expertise here in Canada.
What kind of projects would some of your graduates been working on, like the National Film Board or any that the audience might know about?
Not the National Film Board that I am aware of, but we did have 2 or 3 graduates who had the opportunity to work on The Princess and the Frog, doing background painting, etc. Some of it which was done in Toronto, Ontario. So obviously that's a really big film, and we were really excited that they had the opportunity to be part of that right out of graduation.
And how many students do you actually have at your school?
Right now we only have about 160. We're not looking to expand that much more. We only have 3 diploma programs. It's a really small, intimate environment in which the students have an opportunity to learn from industry professionals who are our faculty, and maximum 17 students in a class, and as a result of that we have a really high job placement ratio.
And you said it's your first time to Winnipeg. How do you enjoy Winnipeg so far?
It's completely different than anything I've ever been exposed to. I've really enjoyed it. I've only been here 2 or 3 days, and for the most part I've been at the con the whole time, so having an opportunity to go out and see the city, I really haven't had much of an opportunity, but I did get to the Winnipeg Art Gallery, and I was happy that I had an opportunity to see Wanda Coop and all the Inuit art that was there. I mean, it's a magnificent show, so having that level of Inuit art was really good to see.
And I understand I was actually at the unveiling of that exhibit there, that she'll be going to Ottawa after this is over here. She'll be exhibiting on Ottawa.
We will be?
Wanda Coop will be.
Will she?
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Well, I mean, she has breathtaking art, so I mean, that's really exciting to hear. I wasn't aware of it. I was just too interested in just standing around and soaking up her ambiance.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and enjoy Winnipeg and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to interview Max the Mud Animation School and myself.
Thank you again. Okay, Jack, can you just tell us how you got your start out in the movie business and how long you've been in the movie business yourself?
Trying to get me to do a couple different films, and I kept saying no, and then in 1975 they came to me to do a picture, Farewell My Lovely, with Robert Mitchum, and I said I had retired from boxing, so I said, yeah, well, let's try it out, and it worked very well. So I went on to do that and did King Kong, and when I was doing King Kong, I did a picture called March or Die. And then they came to me to do the 007 picture, and I turned it down.
Like, oh my God, I heard that guy.
Because they came to me for Superman. And I like Richard Donner. And I had just done a picture with Gene Hackman. So we wound up doing Superman 1 and 2.
So can you tell me where that movie was filmed? Where it was filmed? Where the movie was produced?
London at Pinewood Studios.
Because I know that they've actually produced a Superman in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Here, one of those Supermans were filmed.
In Canada, but they did some shots in Canada. They did a few shots in New York. They did some in Kansas, San Francisco. But the bulk of it was shot in London.
So what other kind of productions have you worked on? Any other features upcoming, or the ones that you really enjoyed working on?
Farewell My Lovely was a great picture. Dragnet was a good picture with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks. The Baltimore Bullet was an interesting picture with Omar Sharif and Jimmy Colburn. It was a good show. Jeffrey Bridges was a good show. I've been producing now. I'm building a major studio down. Probably be one of the biggest studios in the world when we get finished. And I've just written a book that we're writing.
Garrett Wong is also still doing autographs, and so is Mr. Jim Winberg. Take your opportunity. Don't miss your chance.
And I was going to also ask you, I know a lot of actors that have been in the business a long time are now trying directing. Have you directed anything, or do you like to direct in the future?
You know, I've toyed with it, and I took a shot at it, and there was a couple of things that I've written that I think that I might want to direct.
And have you ever worked in Canada yet? Because I know Vancouver and Toronto do a lot of productions in the film business out in Toronto and Vancouver. I understand that in Vancouver and Toronto they do a lot of film productions, and I was wondering if you've ever worked in any of those cities before.
In Vancouver. I don't do, when I was younger in my career, I turned television down so much that I wasn't really, I like film much better. so I never really got in. I did, several television shows, but I wasn't really into TV. I more or less like film.
And I was going to ask you, what do you think about the trend now that a lot of movie productions are going to 3D? What do you think of this trend that they said a lot of productions are going to shoot 3D, and that seems to be a very popular type of film production they do nowadays?
3D, you're going to have 3D, 4D, and 5D within the next 5 years. And in fact, we're building our studio to accommodate that because they need larger sound stages for the depth of perception. I think 3D is the future. I think you're going to have the majority of your pictures will be shot in definition.
And do you have any upcoming projects in the next while that you're going to be working on that you could share with our audience?
Writing a script, I wrote a book called Family Legacy, which we're writing the script for now, and we're going to put the film together quite quickly. Probably by spring of 2011, we'll be in production.
I understand you just recently had some medical surgery. I just want to wish you well-being and health on your recovery from your surgery.
I wanted to come up there really badly, but just unfortunately the doctor said it's not a good idea.
Well, thanks very much for doing the video conference today, and all the best wishes for your recovery.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you again. Yeah, oh yeah. I don't know if that fellow's actually alive.
Really, for anybody who played was Jim Carrey and Batman.
Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, would you mind if we talk to you on camera? We're doing some interviews.
Yeah.
Have you played wrestling presence? How? What?
Oh, okay.
Like that?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Michael.
Michael, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We have another person dressed up in a costume. I notice it's got the question marks on the Riddler. And we just want to ask you what your name is, how long you've been coming to Comic-Con, and what attractions are you looking for this year?
My name is Michael, and I've been here coming here for 3 years. This year I'm actually a volunteer for the weekend. And come here just to see the different people in costumes and stuff like that, and the different attractions.
Are you hoping to meet anybody famous, a celebrity, and get their autographs or their picture? Any special attractions to draw your attention to?
For Ray Park, that was supposed to be here. He was the bigger one since, he's been in more stuff. But I guess in the future, I'd like to see more celebrities and hopefully get an autograph from, but not anybody specifically here this year.
And have you ever America?
No, I have not.
So how do you like this one so far? Come in the past 3 years, have you seen any big changes that you really like?
It's always been good, and it hasn't been really different for the past few years, but they're keeping it where you can tell everybody enjoys it every year, so as long as they keep it the same, then hopefully they're successful.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us. Enjoy the rest of the show for today.
Thanks.
Thank you. Maguire playing Spider.
It's from BC. Yeah.
And how many years have you been coming to Comic-Con? Have you been to other conventions across the country?
Actually, this is my first time. I'm only into this kind of stuff because he's my older brother, so I was brought up on it. I was forced to like it, but it kind of grew on to me. And I only watch Astro Boy because of him, the show. And I don't know. I picked this costume because I actually felt it suits me. because Astro Boy's short and he's not as muscular, and so it fits me.
And is there any special attraction that you guys look out for the show? Anything that you actually want to go see or visit or get autographs from other celebrities?
Yeah, like I'm actually flying out tomorrow because I have to go back to school.
Well, thanks very much. Enjoy the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, I have Garrett Wang here from Star Trek TV series. Garrett Wang?
Yes.
Wang, pardon me. Garrett Wang from the Star Trek TV series. I was at your little talk earlier, and I noticed that you do very good comedy. And I was wondering, would you ever try a comedic role in a movie versus a dramatic role? Because a lot of stars do cross over to the other genre.
Yeah. My preference is to do comedy, to be honest. But unfortunately, Hollywood does a little bit of stereotyping in that they believe that to be funny, you've got to be odd-looking, fat, short, really short, or whatever. And it's anybody who's somewhat normal-looking gets thrown into the leading man category as opposed to be the funny guy. So it's going to be a little bit tough for me to book something like a comedic role, but we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I love comedy.
So have you ever worked with anybody out there in your roles in movies or film, TV series that have been sort of funny? And you mentioned one guy, Tim Russ, practical jokes on you. But anybody else come to mind?
Well, I mean, from the Voyager cast, everybody was funny on that show. Literally. I mean, they all had really excellent senses of humor. Different types of comedy coming out of those mouths, but definitely all across the board, funny people. Yeah. Other projects I've worked on, I worked on All-American Girl with Margaret Cho, she's a very funny woman, the comedian. And that's about it. I have a very limited resume, really. Most of my life has been spent on Star Trek sets, left and right. So, yeah.
And I guess that'll be a long-running franchise because it's on syndication, DVD. You probably got it on demand on the internet, so it'll run forever.
It will run forever. I mean, it's on Space Channel here every day at 4 o'clock, evidently. So, and this is 9 years after the show ended. It's still on 9 years after the show ended. In the U.S., it's on, but it's only on at like 2 in the morning on Spike Channel, which is it's only those that are extremely, how should we say it, unable to sleep are the ones that are watching that one, at 2 in the morning, or sometimes 3 in the morning. Yeah.
Have you traveled to other comic book conventions, and how do you compare ours to other ones you might have attended before?
I've been to San Diego Comic-Con, which is massive, 200,000 people, which personally I don't like that many fans to be that many people at a convention. That to me is that to me is not fun. It's like a hardship. It's like a jail sentence to go to the San Diego Comic-Con. There's just too many people. But that's that one, and I've been another one the first year of the Long Beach Comic-Con, which was completely dead because it was the first year. But I like this one. The people have been fun, and I've had a good time.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and help you enjoy your stay in Winnipeg.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Your last chance to own custom.
Okay, I have another visitor here, and we'll just get his name and see how long he's been coming to Comic-Con. What attracted him to come this year?
Well, I've only been coming a couple of years, but I really remember the Star Trek con a number of years ago. That was the best one, here in this building. Yeah.
And have you ever been able to meet any celebrities? Because I know a lot of celebrities are pretty easy to talk to this year.
I don't know if I've really met any or just rubbed shoulders with them, but heard maybe a few of them speak at the different gatherings. But you know, you take what you can here, you can what you get, and then you sit on the can.
Well, hope you enjoy the rest of the show, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you for having me, Barry.
Thank you. Okay, right now I see a sign that says Transformers. I saw one of the movies, the Transformers. I understand there's another one coming out. Can you tell me about this table? What are you selling here or marketing the Transformer genre?
We're just promoting our Manitoba Transformers fan club, Icon North. We're just trying to raise money for our fan club, try to sell some stuff, that kind of thing.
And how long has the fan club been going? Being the movies are not that old, is it fairly new, this club?
Yeah, about 2 years old.
And how many members do you have, and are they big fans of the Transformer movies too?
Yeah, we're a big fan. We're on our Facebook page. We have like 22 members.
And are there other Transformer clubs in the world, or North America, in the States?
Yes, lots.
Is that how you got the idea that we better get a fan club going here? Is there a base of Transformer fans in Winnipeg?
Yeah, there's a pretty big base. Yeah.
And I heard that there's another Transformer movie on the way out. Yeah. So are you in touch with the people that work on the movies down there, or do you get wind about what's going on since you're a fan club?
No, we're not that exclusive.
And I see a lot of different toys you have here. You have all the different characters, I guess, yeah. The robots from the movie. Can you tell us about any of these ones we're looking at here?
Sure.
This one on the top there.
The ones in here are all exclusive.
Oh, what does that mean, exclusive?
You can't buy them in stores.
So only through your fan club you can buy them?
Like these are from the official Transformers fan club.
And what about the one up top there? What is that?
It's Planet Unicron. He's a planet eater.
Okay.
That one right there is Planet Cybertron.
Okay. And so some of the stuff that you're selling for merchandise-wise, I see you've got some comic books here.
We're selling...
And you've got prints.
These we're giving away to kids for Halloween. That kind of stuff. Our C4 exclusive comic we're selling. And some figures over there we're selling also.
Now that thing encased in glass, is that a collectible and very valuable item since it's encased in glass?
No, it's actually a custom-made figure.
Somebody made it in Winnipeg?
Yeah, he actually made it right there, Effort.
Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, this is a very interesting exhibit. Well, thanks very much for talking with us. If people want more information about the fan club, they might want to get a hold of you. How do they contact you?
Through our website, iconnorth.com.
And how is Icon spelled?
IACON, North.
So they can find it on Facebook or just go to the website directly?
Yep. Go to the website directly.
Okay, thanks very much for talking with us. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Just Lamb and Martin.
Yep,
okay.
That's it.
Okay, tell me, you ready then? Okay, I'm at another exhibitor here down in Artist Alley. We have Lamb and Martin here, and we want to find out about your booth. I understand you're a freelance illustrator. Okay, I'm standing here with another exhibitor from Artist Alley. We have Lamance Martin here, freelance illustrator from Toronto. We just want to ask you about your table and what kind of products you market. I see a lot of prints here.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Toronto, and I usually do the Toronto shows, and this is my first time in Manitoba. So I heard about the show from a friend, and they said it was worthwhile to come down here. So I brought all my books and my prints. So I sell 11 by 17 prints. I have 6 published books that are art books that are flip books that I sell here as well, and postcards, bookmarks, and stickers.
And how does this show then compare with Toronto? Because I understand by reading an article that this is the second largest comic convention in Canada right now, second to Toronto.
Yeah, I believe it is. Well, in terms of North America, I believe it's San Diego's the biggest, then New York, Chicago, and Toronto's 4th. And I guess maybe Manitoba follows that. I'm not too sure where Manitoba ranks in the convention scene.
And what would you say that you like about this show, being it's your first time, how it compares to Toronto, the layout, the number of exhibitors, celebrities here, the special events that goes on here, workshops?
Well, the floor space is a little smaller than the biggest show in Toronto, which is the Fan Expo show. But a lot of the celebrities that are here today are also the ones that go to the Toronto show as well. I guess they make a circuit of different shows across North America. So I've seen some of these guys here at the Toronto show as well.
And how long have you been doing this? Did you take training for this in art school, or you went to university or college?
Yeah, I went to the Ontario College of Art and Design, and I studied illustration, communication, and design for 4 years, from '98 to 2002. And that was the course that I took, and I try to apply what I learned from school to the illustration I'm doing now. So some of the illustration work that I have here is based on some of the art history that I learned. So I tried to use some of the influences from Art Renaissance and incorporate it into a fantasy setting. Right?
So the kind of art you do is fantasy. How do you market it? And do you just basically at conventions? Do you have a website, or how do you sell your products there?
Conventions for sure, because once you create a series of artworks, it's important to sort of go on tour with it to see how many more people you can get interested in your work that way. But also there's online, so I'm part of a lot of different online art communities like DeviantArt, ConceptArt.org, CG Society, Elfwood, Behance Network. There's just tons of them. So I'm part of all those communities, and I also sell my work online through Zazzle, which is a print-on-demand website. So all you do is you upload your artwork to Zazzle, you place it on the products, from T-shirts to posters to skateboard decks, whatever, and then you promote that store along with your website to get people interested in buying your work that way as well.
And when it comes to doing a design of an artwork, how long does it approximately take you to put one of these together? Is it a long process?
Not too long, because I've been doing it a while. So most of my original drawings are 17 by 22 in size, and then I shrink them down to 11 by 17 to reproduce in the books. But when I'm coloring it, first, like I said, I draw it 17 by 22. Then I scan it into my computer, pull it up in Photoshop, and then I color it all in grayscale first, over top of the pencils, and then lay color over top of the grayscale. So altogether, the pencils take maybe 1 or 2 days, and then the coloring takes, again, maybe 1 or 2 days, so maybe 4 days in total, maybe 3.
So how have you found the fans so far in Winnipeg that have seen your artwork? Have they, I take it they know about it, or this is the first time they've seen the artwork?
This is my first time here, so... Well, some people here in Manitoba, in Winnipeg, have actually been to the Fan Expo show, so they recognize me from being at that show. So that was kind of cool, seeing some familiar faces. But I'm pretty much new here, and the Manitoba crowd's pretty cool. Yeah, they're very nice, and the organizers are amazing here. They really look after you. So I like it. Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and we enjoy what we've learned about your artwork, and good luck in your venture.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay, I'm at Artist Alley again, and I have 3 people with me this time, and the booth name is called Victor's Legacy, and we just want to find out about your booth. I have Chris, Matt, and Andrew here. You're all co-founders, or they run this organization?
Yeah, they're the 2 writers, and I'm the artist.
Two writers and the artist. Okay, so we just want to find out about your exhibit here, how long you've been doing it, how you learned about it, and have you been on other conventions before? Is it your first time here, and how long you've been in the industry?
Sure. This is the first actual con that I've worked on this side of it. I've been to several other cons around Canada before, but more as a fan sort of thing. Never really actually peddling my own stuff sort of thing. So yeah, this is for all 3 of us. It's a brand new experience. Myself, I'm trained from, I live in Thunder Bay, Ontario, so I went to Lakehead University there as a fine arts student. And I've loved comics since I was a kid, and that's basically how I learned how to draw, was just copying comics, and just kind of built from there. Then I went to art school and got more of the fundamentals. And beyond that, then it was... I left comics for a while, then came back and really started to sit down and study the art of narrative storytelling, which is it's a very complicated thing. A lot of people think it's very easy to do, but it's not. And it's been a learning experience, and it's always going to be a learning experience. It's kind of an ongoing thing.
So you actually write comic books of many pages, and how long does it take you to put together a comic book?
Well, it really varies. This book here that we got at the show, 74 pages, it's a graphic novel, and this is about a year's work for the 3 of us. But writing scripts, it really varies on the actual size of the book. Standard size is 22 pages, and that could take us a couple weeks, I'd say. Yep. A story like this could take a few 5-hour sessions.
And when I look at the name of the Victor's Legacy, was this actually a real comic book, or is this character you made up yourself?
It's actually Victor's Legacy. It's Victor Frankenstein. It's the story of Frankenstein's monster, So taken from the actual literal Mary Shelley Wollstonecraft book, and it's set in the future from where that story ends. The monster disappears into the Arctic. But this is, like, say, 200 years later. It's kind of emerged out of his own isolation, and there's been a zombie plague that has suddenly ravaged the planet, and there's little pockets of humanity, like little establishments of humanity that's fighting for their own survival. So he kind of emerges, and in the original story, he was striving to
be accepted into humanity, and that was always kind of the longing thing, just to find out who he is and what his place was in the sense of who created him and where to go. And now he's still striving for that, and he wants to find that human contact, but he can, since he's not quite human and he's not a zombie, he can kind of meander through all the zombies without being attacked by them, and he's one of the few that can do that. So then he kind of becomes a link between humanity and their own possible survival.
Well put.
Thanks. Well put.
And Matt, we just want to ask, what's your background and how you got together with this fellow here? How do you know each other, and how you got together, the three people that have common interests?
Good question. Like Christopher, my background is just reading comics. I didn't do any specific schooling or anything for writing. I actually met Andrew. We worked together, and we had a passion for film and writing, so we hooked up. We started doing short films and screenplays, and then evolved into comics. And then we were like, okay, we got a lot of concepts. We need an artist for this. So we did a couple of different routes where we put out an ad in the paper, just asked around locally. And then finally we set up a Facebook group. It was starving writers seeking starving comic book artists. And I found this gentleman that way.
Yeah. And I just want to ask you, is this your first comic that you've done, or do you have done other ones previously?
This is the first full completed comic.
Completed comic, yeah. We did a pitch together, just a little small 5-page pitch that, usually comic book companies are looking to get from you 5 completed pages, and this is the first one that we've actually done, and we originally posted it all online, and now this is our first. It started online, and then this is our first print run that we've done for the book. So, first book.
Now, what can you say? What kind of a fan base would you have out there? Would it be worldwide, North America, Canadian-wide? Would you say?
Well, I think zombies are universal, and Frankenstein's monster, the original Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, has been reprinted probably in every language, right? So everybody out there knows of the character, either from the movies or the book. So I don't see it specifically being a North American kind of product,
or even like an age range. It's not a young or it's not an old thing. I think these guys have written it well enough. So it's not just here's like a big gore fest schlock sort of deal. It's a lot of character development and great plot points, and and since it's based on the actual literary piece, there's a bit of a link to something of more of a greater universe that you're drawing from. So you kind of go from there. But then it also brings in zombies are pretty popular right now. It's kind of a pop culture thing. So we're drawing a little bit on that. Our own love for zombie films, a little nod to George Romero. The zombies in there are
love George
Romero's. So it's a little nod to him.
Little nod to George, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to say if there's one specific niche that we're trying to get.
Yeah. Broader audience.
So would you say that your main marketing then is basically on the internet? You don't sell it in stores or retail stores, comic book stores, anything like that for distribution?
At this point, we don't. We'd like to get into that, but because we just printed this is kind of like our first showing of the book itself. We have it available online as well, and we'd like to do more shows like this and eventually get it distributed in stores.
It's a good place, conventions, to hook up with other comic makers who are actually out there in the industry, or just doing it themselves to their own publishing company. We met so many people this weekend, and if you're ever thinking of doing a comic convention with your own stuff, this is the place to be to meet people.
I think with it's similar to music and film right now, like the independent thing, especially with the access to the internet, is just your possibilities are endless. It's not like, okay, now I have to create something and I have to approach a specific publishing company and go through them, and that's my only leg, that I can, the only avenue to go. Now I can do this, I can print it. We printed this through an online company, and it's professional quality. It looks fantastic. We were super happy, and it's okay. Now where do we go from here? We come to a convention and just pitch it to people here, and like you said, doing a lot of networking where we can sell online, which 10, 15 years ago that avenue wasn't even available. So it's exploding now.
So are you planning to do the circuit with other comic book conventions around Canada, or is this your launch, and I guess depends on your budget maybe?
We're talking about it. It's in the works. We'll leave it at that.
It's a tough thing to say because it's not a cheap thing to do. Like, we're using our own money. Everybody kind of has their own outside jobs. I'm doing art full time, so I'm not. It's starving artist is not a cliche. It's it actually you don't. It's hard to make money. It's you do it for the passion. You love what you do, so you go for it, and let's just go from there.
So what's the website that our viewers could go check out if they want to find out more information, or other ways they can contact you?
The website is www.3inq.com. 3inc.com.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us. Good luck with your venture, and good luck with selling your comic book.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm here with somebody else, an exhibitor, and I see him actually at a store here that sells merchandise and products. We have Chow here. You're the owner of the company. Can you tell us how long you've been coming to Comic-Con and what attracts you to bring your business here?
So we attend, this year going to be our 4th year, the 4th. And the reason they keep us coming back because with the crowded, with the attendance a lot, like thousand people, so help the business a lot with at least for advertising. And that's how we keep up to come here.
And how have you found the crowd in year 4 versus year 1 when you started out coming to the show here?
I'm a little bit not really. Can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, did you find that there's more interest in buying products, that people are still looking, or they become more interested in the type of products you have? Because crowds might change over the years. I'm just wondering if you've got a different fan base this year versus when year 1, when they never heard of you before, perhaps?
Yeah, so the thing I see keep different with every year is more people attend at Comic-Con. Because the economy right now seems like people love to do the same thing like our business, which is advertise, they attend, so more competition. For us, we confident because we bring lots of new arrival. But of course, people for the sale is a little bit less than usually. It's just because people, first of all, like I mentioned, more competition. The people bring the same stuff. But for us, we're doing okay. Yeah, but we think but less than before, but not really affect very much.
Now, can we just take a look around your store and give our viewers explanation about what kind of products you have here? I mentioned anime might be one item, but what else are we looking at here when we look at your different products that you have? And what is the name of your store here?
Our name store is Little Star Gifts, the anime store inside Children and Play Shopping Center. Yeah.
So did you bring basically a cross-section of products here today that you would sell in your retail store?
Yes, we every time for Comic-Con, so we try to bring which is related more like games, and we have a few comic, which is which is related with the con more. Otherwise, for everything in our store, we have even more than what we have here, a lot. So, for example, we bring something because Halloween, we bring costume cosplay. So this is our own design. We call Gothic Lolita. The girl love very much because they can wear all the time because they're not really Pacific anime at all, which is beautiful dress and anime cosplay. So this is from Vampire Knight, Dragon, and Orange High School. They're all popular one. Yeah, and besides something like this. Pokemon merchandise, one of always the best sell because everybody know this character. And beside hat on top there, something like that. Yeah.
So have you been to any other comic book conventions or shows to market your products outside your retail store before? Or is this the only one that you go to all the 4 years that you've been coming here?
Yeah, we went to a few conventions to more anime con, which is Icon or Chibi Con, and the one even at the Red River Act, the exhibition, we attend there too for 10 days.
And how do you find this event compared to the anime shows that you did before? Is it busier, more sales, or about the same?
Probably this one is it's different because like we go to different con, they're more about anime, so that easy for sale. We can bring everything, so the sale is better. But this one we have to know the type what we should bring and the limit, and then also anime fan we don't see much here because it's not really the con for them to attend. So that's why the sale is of course a big difference. Yeah.
And how many years have you been running the store that you've been involved in this business?
We run the business almost 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
And if people want to contact you, is there a website that you have, or how can they reach your store if they want to come and visit you and check out your products?
Yeah, we have our website. It's littlestargift.com or winnipeganime.com. So in our website, it's not really like online website like you sell things, but for the service like more like people can see merchandise easy, which is new because that's what we carry. We update new one all the time, almost every week. And we have Facebook, so you can like go to our Facebook and the front page of our web. That's the best way, like more like local, and people can reach us easy. And then question anything they can ask us, so that's a quick way like for the service. And that's how our business starts. And soon we may start with online sale. Where people can reach all different places, out of city and everywhere around the world. And that's for future. Like maybe we start very soon, around next year.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and good luck in your show here, and hope you sell a lot of different products.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Thank you again. Okay, I just have another person here from Dave's Goodies, and I see some interesting exhibits here, products. The Hulk caught my attention, and we want to find out more about this. I have Dave, the owner of this company here. We want to find out how long you've been doing this and how you came to work on these sculptures here.
Well, I've been building models pretty much my entire life since I was a kid, but seriously, like this, probably for about 4 years now.
And how long does it take you to make one of these creations? What are they made of?
These are model kits. They're vinyl model kits from a company called Horizon that went out of business in the mid-90s. So they're very hard to come by nowadays. There's just not too many around. And basically they come in pieces. You have to heat them up and trim them and fill them and glue them together using crazy glue, and then put putty on, sand, putty, sand, and then prime them, and they're ready for painting. And you can use acrylic paints on them, so it makes it kind of nice and easy for blending.
So how long would it take you to create one of these, let's say the Hulk character, to put him together in that stance and everything like that?
No, probably about 25 to 30 hours on average for each one. Of course, some are a little bit more complex, like this took a lot longer than the Thing did, but again, it varies depending on the model. And Captain America took a lot longer than the Hulk, actually.
So I take it you're a big fan of these comic book TV series, the movie series?
Always have been, yeah. Big fan of the superheroes and just pop culture in general.
Are there any other ones you're going to create in the future that we don't see here now?
I've got about 20 in various stages, from just starting to just about completed right now. And I got about another 75 models unbuilt. So I have a few to do.
So these are actually for sale or just exhibit? Right now I see there's do not touch sign here.
Everything's for sale. Everything's for sale if the price is right. So
these would be actually collectibles then for somebody?
Oh, definitely. Very rare, like I say, since the company's no longer in business. You just don't see these around too often.
And how did you learn about this? As a kid, did you get into modeling? And
I've always been modeling since I was about 7, 8 years old, and then I got out of it actually when in my teens. And then I just recently got back into it again about 4 or 5 years ago.
Were you a big fan of comic books to start with, and you got the idea about reading the comics that look interesting to get into the characters and everything like that?
Spider-Man. I collect Amazing Spider-Man, so that's pretty much the only comic that I do collect. But yeah, it's all related, and I guess I'm going through my second childhood. Or third.
So if people want to contact you, are you on the internet, or do you have a Facebook page, or any other way to contact you?
I'm in the process of developing a website. I'm getting that up and running. I do have like an email address, and I'm just joining Facebook. So right now I'm sort of unknown on the internet.
So they could basically just look for your name, Dave's Goodies, and find you somehow at some point in time?
You bet. And I exhibit a few times a year, so people are starting to notice me and recognize me. So.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and good luck on your venture, and good luck with putting all those other ones together.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I have Deborah, owner of a store called Pop and I Collectibles, and I just happened to notice an evil-looking character here called Chucky. I saw all these movies of Chucky, and we're just wondering how this came to be here, and it looks like he's alive.
He does. He moves. He's old-fashioned animation with the hand down. There's no motion sensors. I realize the kids now, they're all going like this to see if he'll go off, but he's old-fashioned, plug in the wall type of thing. So
how did this creation come to be? This was an actual prop from a movie, or how did this creation come to be as Chucky? Because it looks pretty realistic to the movie I saw about Chucky.
this is Sita Chucky. And he was a elf from the Santa Claus parade in about the 60s. And I used to work for Eaton's Display, and I got him, and I redid his face, and his body had green elf wear on him and everything, so I stripped him down to nothing and made him Seat of Chucky.
Well, it's a pretty realistic thing. How long did it take you to put that together? Was it a long process?
About a month and a half to do him. And this is a latex mask, and I got extra pieces of latex and I put it in behind his eyes. And I got an outfit, which was hard, and a shirt to try to match the best I could. And runners. I had to use surgical tape to make the stripes because his original runners were Adidas's. So, and then a knife. We were going to use a real, pointy, but we had the knife originally this way, but then everybody was sticking their heads under it. So if you can see what would happen. We made him a slasher.
And I see that on Halloween Eve it's pretty applicable for having this kind of creature, because he's been a scary movie, The Bride of Chucky, and all the Chucky movies that they did.
He is. But we're also going to have him in the store with a Santa Claus hat. So it's going to be Seat of Chucky, Merry Christmas. He has dual purpose, like Nightmare Before Christmas, and
And what other kind of products do you have in your store besides this one? Is there sort of a genre you focus on, or is it a little bit of everything?
We have a little bit of everything. Action figures, giftware, dolls, horror, entertainment, music, everything. We touch on a little bit of everything.
And if people want to contact you, whereabouts is your store? Do you have a website online that can reach you by website or email address?
We're at www.popandI.net. We're on Henderson Highway. We have a store at 377 Henderson Highway.
And is it your first year that you're attending this event, or have you been here year after year?
We have been here year after year. We started when they started, and we'll probably finish when they finish.
So have you found the crowds different now that you've been here for quite a while? Any sense of different sales, or better or worse or same, or different types of crowds?
The crowd is basically the same. We've found that over the years it's growing. I think the first Comic-Con was 16,000 people, and then it moved to 22,000. And now I won't know what the total is until maybe beginning of next week. I'm sure it was about 30 this year. Saturday was really busy. So.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us, and good luck on your venture in your store there.
Well, thank you for coming to see Chucky, and happy Halloween.
Thank you.
All right, you guys.
Okay, I'm standing here with Andrew Kuiper. Looks like he's wrapping up for the day, but I just happened to notice, and it caught my attention, the Iron Man and Hulk, and I just want to find out what we're looking at here. It sounds like a unique item to buy here. What is exactly what you have here?
It's just a replication of a comic book, and it's made from MDF wood, acrylic paint, and then it's finished with a high gloss varnish.
And how long have you been doing this? Is this something new, or?
I've been doing it for about 20 years.
Is this your first time to Comic-Con? Because I'd never heard of your company before.
Very first time I'm showing my work, yeah.
And is it the only three, or do you have a lot more comic books that you do?
No, these are the first three that I've done. I do a lot of loose work, figurines and stuff like that, but, I just thought I'd show my work out for the first time and see how it goes. Yep.
And if people want to find out about you, do you have a website or email or on Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook this week. It's going to be just under Copycat. You can find me there. Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us. I know you have to get going to pack up for the night, but quite interesting items that you have here that you've created.
Thank you very much. and I hope to make a lot more in the future. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I'm at another place here in front of some autographs here and some pictures and things, and we're just talking to Lee Turner. We just want to ask about your table, Lee, and what exactly you're doing here with these different items here.
Okay, we are part of the C4. Like, this is we're the ones putting this on. Some of these posters are here from years past. Like this one here is like last year. This one's the year before. They're all signed by the artists. Many of these are local artist drawings. Like over here are the pictures of the guests that we have had in. This again last year. Like the Green Arrow, for instance. And the woman from Smallville who plays Lois Lane. And Q. I forgot his real name. But he's one of ours too. Like, so we have pictures from last year past. Posters are promotional posters from last year past. Our limited edition comic book, Transformers, with the C4 logo, front and back. They only made 1,000 of these. We have something like 550 left. So anybody wants some, just drop down to Raven bookstores. They can pick them up there. And then we have our local artists and other artists, the materials that they come up with. They do the little cards. And they're sell $25 to $1. Like, that's the price range of these things here.
And how many years have you been involved with this event? Are you a regular?
Third year. This is my third year as a volunteer.
And how do you enjoy it? Have you found the people much better year after year here?
This is awesome, and we get bigger every year. This is a dream come true to like work with comic books and science fiction, and so this is it.
Now, do you have a chance to go check out the show yourself because you're a volunteer? Have you met any famous people here or seen any attractions?
Garrett Wang today, he's a really down-to-earth person. The fellow who does Lee, who does the voices for Family Guy, hang on. Johnny Test is one of his shows. He was here, and they are really down-to-earth, real people, and I enjoyed meeting them a lot. Last year we had Adam West and Julie Newmar again, and they were like really down-to-earth people, which is surprising for like such famous stars to be that home. It was great. So I enjoyed it a lot.
And I understand that you're wrapping up soon, I guess, for this year. Do you think you'll set a record over last year, this year?
Ooh, tough call. Because last year it was like strong from start to finish. This year we started out slow, but then it picked up from Saturday to Sunday, and we did great. So in next year, we're looking at having 2 floors instead of just 1. Like this is our main floor. Next year we're aiming at having 2 floors because it's growing that big. We're going to be rivaling Chicago shortly.
Have you been to other comic book conventions that compares to this one here?
No, this was my first one. My introduction to it was actually this one 3 years ago. And I've been volunteered since then till now, and I'll be back at it again next year.
Thanks very much for talking with us, and enjoy the rest of the day. I know we have to pack up soon.
Thanks. I had a great time, and thanks for stopping in, and come back next year. It'll be even better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.